Homestead OC here. Chicken video is week 8 and we are just moving right along really quickly. It doesn't seem like there's too much change in the chickens. I mean, from day to day it's kind of hard to tell, but we got 2 more broody hens in there. It looks like there's 1 laying an egg, but the 2 on the right, they're sitting on eggs. The one on the right, she's sitting on 6 what we think are Buff Orpington Welsomer cross eggs, and the one on the left is, I think, 2 Buff Orpington Welsomer cross eggs and 2 either Russian Orloff or Sicilian Buttercup cross with a Welsomer. Those are just kind of just to see what happens, what they look like. We're breeding chickens for size, broodiness, and egg laying ability. And Russian Orloff and the Sicilian Buttercup, at least ours, oh look, speak of the devil, there's the Sicilian Buttercup. At least ours are not broody, they're not big, and they don't lay too many eggs. But there's Butters, our Sicilian Buttercup. Looks like behind her is one of the 8-week-old chickens. And they're looking pretty much full grown, just kind of like a slightly smaller version than what they will be after, I think, another 8 weeks. Our original plan was to go to 16 weeks, but we might start harvesting 1 or 2 ahead of time, just because there might be some crowing getting started, and they're pretty big already. These guys are really ready to be out of the coop today. I got a late start. Normally I do my my week updates in the morning so I can let them all out. And we had some cranky kids in the morning that didn't want to cooperate with breakfast and getting ready for school, so I didn't get a chance to come out here with the chickens. So anyway, it's about noon. They've been in the coop longer than they normally are, and they know what's coming. Here's our scraps. I know you're not supposed to feed them avocado, but we give them like the avocado inside, and it's just kind of easier to give it with the peel. This one was kind of bad, so we picked out what we could, but there's still some left. They eat it. They like the apples. They really like the watermelons. These are some pancakes. My kids just think spinach is a main ingredient in pancakes because that's all they've ever had, but it's really nice pancakes for the kids, and I'm sure for the boys too. Got bananas, some eggs from them in there, spinach, blackberries, and apples. Anyway, let's get it going. I don't really talk about this in the other videos, but these are the hasps we use. That's the lock. And I haven't seen any raccoons out here, but I know they're out here, and there's possums out here too. So mainly for the raccoons, we have the double layer of protection, and so far so good. No infiltrators. So here's the bigger ones here. There's those 4 on the right. Oh, there they all go. They love it over there. That's their little spot. They like being in those bushes, and they like jumping up, getting those leaves. Our newest members, I want to say 3 weeks, but I'm not keeping track with the other ones. I'm just I got it marked on the calendar, so I just can't remember offhand, but we have 4. We had 5 in this batch, and it's these 2 moms that kind of raise them. She started raising all of them. She hatched them all, and then this one went broody on her 3rd week, and the chicks just attached to her. So they're going, I don't know, lesbian life partner style on these 4 chicks. We had 5. One of them disappeared. I'm guessing a hawk or something got her, but yeah, they're gone. So we'll see if we can get them back over here. I talked too much, and all the chickens ran away before I dumped the food for them. Here, chick, 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 chick. Here, chick, 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 chick. Here, chick, 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 chick. So I think these ones right here, that's a 5-weeker. This is 8. That one, that's a pretty looking one. I think it's a rooster. He's oh, there he goes. Mostly black, but it's got this blue sheen on him. Really cool. A lot of the Jersey Giant mixes have the blue sheen. I think it's a combination of being a rooster and the genes from this Welsomer. It's hard to tell, but this Welsomer's got some blue on his undercoat, plus the green tail feathers there. So should have some pretty birds. And I'm not planning on keeping any of the roosters from any of these batches. I'm just going to be keeping some of the hens. I really like the Buff Orpington line, and you know how docile they are. They're one of the hens that, you know, just let me walk up and pick them up, and that's definitely preferable. Same with the Welsomer. She's really friendly. She likes to hang around us, and you know, that's pretty good. But we have a lot of mixes of the Americanas, and I bred those that way for the olive Ager eggs, but they probably won't get bred too much anymore. They're on the smaller side, and neither of them have gone broody. So whatever hens we have that are Welsomer Americana mix, they should be bigger than their moms, because the Welsomer is a bigger breed, and hopefully broodier, because this Welsomer here is a pretty broody one. Really great mom. Buff Orpingtons were both great mom. Well, we only had one that went broody, but really great mom. Really nice size, nice, thick and heavy. You can tell which ones have the Americana genes. They got some beards going on. Yeah, they just love being outside right now. The smaller ones have figured out how to drink from these waters without stepping on that. They will perch on this, and their head comes around, and they can drink out of it upside down. Pretty nice, pretty impressive. And one figured it out, and now they're all doing it. I put this. I think last week I had this in there, but I put this. This is actually the top of a flower. It's these century plants, these guys right here. What happens is they don't grow for a century like the name implies, but they'll grow for quite a long time. They put out one giant flower, and then you can cut it down or topple over, but it spreads its seeds everywhere, and we got a nice big patch going. I've been trying to trim it back and kind of cut out like an inside for a cactus garden. Got a few fruiting cactus here that we're going to get it started with. They're both similar to a dragon fruit. I also have some dragon fruit growing along the back wall. I haven't got any fruit from the dragon fruit yet, but this one's put off some really great fruit. This one, I haven't got anything off yet. I've had a year and a half, but I've tried the fruit from this cactus that this cutting was from, and they were great. This one I think tastes better and there's less thorns. I have no idea what they're called, but it's a columnar cactus with fruits. So similar, looks kind of like a prickly pear or a dragon fruit, but once they're in the ground, Southern California, you don't have to water them at all. They just kind of do their thing. Might give them a little bit of water just to bulk the fruit up a bit, but I neglect them pretty good, and everything's great. My hope is once everything's established, I can really back off on the water. I usually water once a week. Give it a nice deep watering. This one needs something. This one needs some water. But all the other ones are doing pretty good. These are all stone fruits here. This is a cherry. I'm guessing cherry's a stone fruit. I don't know, maybe. And here's the persimmon. It's started to put on some fruits, but they just kind of died off. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but hopefully get something. This is that spot they like to run to in the beginning of the day. It's kind of hard to see if there's any in there, but they like to tuck up in there, and some really nice shade. I'm sure there's a great selection of bugs in there. They've been catching lizards. We got a lot of lizards around here, and the only ones I've seen catch them are the buff Orpingtons. They are quick. Lizards are quick, and those Orpingtons are pretty quick. Those little ones running there, I think they're in the 6 week mark. Here's our rooster, Marty McFly. There's a Russian Orloff here. She's really friendly, but egg production isn't as great as the other ones, as the buff Orpingtons and the Jersey Giants and whatnot. So we've named her. Her name's Hazel, so she's safe from the kill cone. But we don't want her in the flock, so we're looking to rehome her. Maybe one or two of the Jersey Giants and the Sicilian Buttercup. Like I said, the weight in the egg production isn't there to keep them up with the flock, and we don't put their eggs under any of the hens to raise. And then the other thing that is kind of annoying me, but it's not too bad, they can get in here and lay an egg. This is supposed to be the juvenile only gate, and the small ones can make it past here, but the big ones can't. Our Sicilian Buttercup and our Russian Orloff can make it past here, and that's the eggs they lay. So our two chicks, hopefully, that will be hatching from these eggs, we'll be selling probably on Craigslist. We sell fertilized eggs on Craigslist, and trying to sell a few hens on there, and we put up pictures of all these chicks, and they just want to buy the chicks. So, you know, chicks aren't for sale, and hopefully we'll give them a couple since everyone's been asking about them. Well, that's about it. This video went a little longer than I thought, but thanks for sticking through to the end, and stay tuned next week for week 9. So far we haven't had any of the cockerels start crowing. That one's our only rooster. But as soon as the cockerels start crowing, we'll start slaughtering them. I've never done it before. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and it seems pretty easy. But I'm gonna try out just one at a time and see if I can get good at it, and then we'll kind of set up a production line and you know, go through 10 or 20 and stock the freezer up. They're starting to eat a lot more, and I did find a good source for some feed that was organic, non-GMO, no corn, no soy. It's in a crumble form, and it's a lot cheaper than the whole grain stuff I've been buying. It's about half price, but they're still eating their fill, and I need to cut back on some costs and harvest the meat that we've worked pretty hard for. Actually, we haven't worked that hard for it. They did most of the work. They're the ones. I don't know. The hens just they train them right, and we don't have to do much. We just gotta make sure we supply the food and keep the water full, and they're hopping over this fence all the time, so we just got to keep them out of the fenced-in area. There's a nice shot of the tractor. So yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like I said, stay tuned for week 9, and make sure and like, comment, subscribe.